I am Will Cain, and tonight we examine the effort to resegregate America. Of course, you've heard by now the story of Mayor Lori Lightfoot and her attempt to bring Jim Crow back to Chicago City Hall. Lightfoot said she would only grant interviews to black or brown journalists in the Windy City, dropping a blackout on white journalists who visit the mayor's office. Lightfoot said she wanted to be, quote, intentional about prioritizing media requests from reporters of color over white journalists, who, according to Lightfoot, overwhelmingly make up the majority of the City Hall press corps. She doubled down on those comments yesterday.
If I, as the black woman mayor, the first ever, don't challenge us, the collective us, to do better, to really make sure that in every institution it reflects the diversity and nuance and texture of our city, then shame on me.
But as controversy swirled around Lightfoot's racist impersonation of Bull Connor, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser, well, she wrote into her defense.
That we need to see more beat reporters that look like the cities that they're covering, and that's been a discussion I've had with editors around this city, and we want to continue to urge them to hire people that reflects the cities.
Well, welcome to the decline of America, where in 6 short decades we have gone from aspiring to judge a man by the content of his character to aspiring that every reporter look just like the politician they cover. Where in 60 years we've gone from Martin Luther King Jr. to Muriel Bowser and Lori Lightfoot. 2021 is starting to look a lot like 1961, a segregated America. And look, it's not just in Chicago. Take a look at this story from just this week. From Wellesley, Massachusetts, where parents filed a complaint with the Department of Education that the local school violated the 1964 Civil Rights Act by inviting students to a safe space to grieve anti-Asian hate crimes. We talked to you about that last night. Well, in Wellesley, Massachusetts, all students grades 6 through 12 were invited to participate. Well, all students except white students. The email invitation read as follows. Note, this is a safe space for our Asian American, and students of color. Emphasize, not for students who identify only as white. If you identify as white and you need help to process recent events, please know I'm still here for you as well as your guidance counselor. And again, this kind of creep, this kind of racial segregation is infiltrating every aspect of our culture. Take a look at collegiate campuses, at universities across this great country. Students at NYU recently pushed for racially segregated dormitories. And at Columbia College, Columbia University here in New York City, they have put in place racially segregated graduations. And now, look, this isn't on the same level as those examples, but look at Lego. This is Lego's newest line of diversity toys. This separation to color coding, living up to every stereotype from hairstyle to skin color, looks like it could have been designed by David Duke. This is the opposite of Martin Luther King's dream for America, or the American constitutional ideal that every man was created equal. And thankfully, these efforts to resegregate America, like those from Lori Lightfoot, well, they are simply too much for some. Like former presidential candidate Tulsi Gabbard, who tweeted, "Mayor Lightfoot's blatant anti-white racism is abhorrent. I call upon President Biden, Kamala Harris, and other leaders of our country of all races to join me in calling for Mayor Lightfoot's resignation. Our leaders must condemn all racism, including anti-white." Now, look, there is a belief on the left, it's been popularized by books like White Fragility or How to Be an Anti-Racist, and the foundation of it was laid out in the now notorious critical race theory. It's the idea that only white people can be racist. The idea goes that racism is only accompanied by power, and if a minority has no power, then they can't really be racist. That is really what they think. But you and I, and every sane person, know that racism is an individual sin. It's declining to look at each other for who we are, our character, our soul, our actions, and instead look at each other primarily through our skin color. There can be white racists, there can be black racists, there can be racists of every color that Lego can possibly imagine. And Tulsi Gabbard is right. Lori Lightfoot's order is not, let's be clear, race-based. It's not reverse racism. Let's call it what it is. It is racist. And if Joe Biden is as opposed to discrimination and racism as he acted last night, he should do as Tulsi Gabbard has asked him to do and call for racist Lori Lightfoot's resignation.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.